What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be installing the Shelby GT350 steering wheel in my RTR Spec 510th anniversary. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? So when I eventually picked up this vehicle, I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of stuff that I wanted to change because in my opinion, this car is damn near perfect straight from RTR, but I did know that I wanted to upgrade the cooling, which I did with the Mishimoto oil cooler and the larger radiator. Another thing I wanted to do was I wanted to take the half cage that we had in our blue Mustang, our RTR Spec 2, and put it in this car, which you can kind of see right there. We did that as well. So the other two things that I wanted to do was I wanted to put a bigger brake kit on here because this car is not a performance pack. It did not come with the Brembos. And the final thing that I wanted to do was put a GT350 steering wheel on there. So out of the four things that I wanted to do, we've accomplished two, but now three. A few weeks ago, it was, I think, January 28th, we did a Discover RTR event with Texas Speed Factory, who also has classic recreations up in Flower Mound, Texas. We brought out a bunch of Bronco owners. Vaughn and Lauren came out, some of the RTR team did, as well as a photographer from the area known as Isaac. You guys, if you follow him on Instagram, you may know him as Turtle Media. If you don't, I'll go ahead and toss his tag up here. After the event was over, we were all heading back to Flower Mound to hang out at EVA there. And Isaac hopped in the back with us, and myself and Jaron Cole, we were talking about things I'd like to do with my car. And one thing that I said I wanted to do was get a GT350 steering wheel, but unfortunately, I couldn't find one without the red stripe. My car has yellow accents, it has blue stitching on the inside, the red just wasn't gonna fit. And then all of a sudden, Isaac says in the back, I have one of those. I was like, what? He said, yeah, I have one of those. I originally got it because I really wanted it, and then I ended up going with a Carbon-tastic steering wheel. So I have one. You want it? Yeah, I do. So here we go. Isaac was able to hook me up with this steering wheel. You can see that it has been used, but we are gonna clean that up. It's a really easy fix right there. But overall, this is in really, really great condition. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to pop off the stock steering wheel. Nate's gonna hop down here and help me, and we'll put in this GT350 wheel. All right, so on both sides of your steering wheel, you're gonna have a little hole like this. That's gonna be your access point to get the spring to release your steering wheel. So Nate's gonna use this Allen wrench, pop it up in that hole, and as he finds it, it's gonna be angled towards the back, and then he's gonna push up against that spring while pulling on the actual airbag itself once he finds the spring, and that should release the airbag. Push it in and then pull. There we go. Once you got it done on one side, you gotta get it on the other, so let's go ahead and knock this one out too. All right, there we go. Go ahead and slide her on out. And there's your area. Pop!
Don't do that.
We're gonna have to disconnect them on the back here. So you have your 2 points here, as well as this here. Once you disconnect those, you'll be able to pull everything out. There we go. It's just a little nerve-wracking putting that kind of force on something that you don't want to break. There we go. Both of them out. Here we go. Now we can set this off to the side. So here we have the steering wheel off. You can see the two springs that Nate had to push against right here and right here. So it comes down, this channel pushes this in, and that's what released the airbag. So what we're doing right now is taking out all these little bolts across here to remove all the plastic pieces and all of our buttons that are gonna be removed. Right now we are using a, what size is this? This is a T15. Got the first plastic piece off. This sets up right along here. 3 of the T15s holding it in place. That removes the plastic piece, and I'm gonna let Nate take over and finish taking this thing apart. Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? So we have the GT Premium steering wheel apart. We got everything here organized. One difference that we do have is you'll notice that we do have some wires sitting here still, and that's because this has a heated steering wheel. I didn't know that. I don't know how I didn't know that, but it's just one of those things. I've never had to need to use it because I live in Texas. So this is not going to be going back into the vehicle, and we're going to hope that it doesn't give us any faults. we pried off the back, this plastic piece right here that's going to get transferred over to this, along with all of our wiring for our buttons here on the steering wheel. So we're going to get started on transferring all of that over to here, and we'll be almost ready to put this back in the car.
Check priorities, I'm doing that first. Checks big and I'm sure that hurts, but it's checkmate. We ain't selling short, no to work. Ain't nowhere to hide.
So we're putting this little silver plate on there. No idea what it does, but it was on the other wheel and not on this one. So we are pushing down the things that held it in place to get it to lock down in there. Everything's in place now, and we should be good. We can put the backing on it and we'll be good to go. I used an Allen wrench though to get down up in here to really snug this up in as best as we could. So down in here we had to remove 3 little bolts. The problem with that is now trying to get those back in, that we don't end up losing our bolt. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this piece of paper that I had, popping the bolt in through it, and using that to stabilize the bolt as I guide it in. After you have your bolt started, you can go ahead and just pull up on the paper. Bolt stays in and you have nothing wrapped around your bolt down in there. All right, we got everything back together for the most part. Torque the wheel down to 35 pound-feet. And then just start reconnecting the airbag. Everything is still disconnected, so hopefully this thing will not go off in my face. Should have had you do this. Are you a team player or not? All right, everything looks like it's connected. Put the wheel back up here. Clicked into place. New steering wheel on. Okay. All we have to do now is reconnect the battery and hope that the airbag doesn't go off when it has power. Nothing yet. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Hey, take these keys, hop inside, start the car. And we're gonna just make sure that everything works the way that it's supposed to from over here. And if I was you, I'd just kind of lean back away from the wheel just in case.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like for real?
Yeah. Like lean back and just push the start button. Your face is right over that thing now. We'll start the car.
Whatever.
Don't be a wuss.
Whatever.
See, I told you. Not a worry in the world. Honk the horn real quick and see if that sets it off. Hey, what are you doing? We got neighbors. Jesus Christ. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything else coming up from myself or Nate or anybody else we bring by the garage. In the next video, I think we might start taking the wrap off of this thing and talk about the plans for paint next. Until the next time, peace.
I'ma get it, you know I be on the run. Yeah, it's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this at all, you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear.